lift me up. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, lift me up. You lift me up. Oh, lift me up.
Hello and welcome to this month's issue of the Home Cooking Newsletter. We're here with Jeannie Wolfley. She's our resident expert and she's going to teach us how to make soap. It's a really cool thing. I'm so excited about it because it's very practical. It's economical, you were saying, and it's beautiful. She does some great things with it. So I'm really excited to have you here, Jeannie.
Well, thank you. I decided that when I wanted to start making soap that I didn't want to go out and buy a bunch of tools and ingredients that I was going to maybe not be interested in down the road. And so I started just by what I had in my cupboard and looking for different recipes. I did have a niece that made her own homemade soap and it really intrigued me. And so instead of going out and buying soap molds, I used Pringle cans. I think this is a ocean spray
awesome.
can.
What a great idea.
I had this little weigher because you have to go by weight. I went and I bought the least expensive because for soap this works just great. It's just coconut oil that I found at Walmart, and this is in the cooking or Hispanic aisle. And then
So is it cheaper if you get it there?
it is. Coconut oil can be very expensive, but this is like $4.
Oh, that's great.
And
So,
then I buy the cheap olive oil as well. The cheaper the better.
great.
And you have to use household lye. This soap recipe only has 4 ingredients in it, and
So
water.
this is actually household drain opener.
It is.
This is what we're going to use to clean.
Yep. And then the other thing you need is you need a digital thermometer, and I did have to go out and buy that, but it wasn't an expensive item. Some plastic and glass bowls for measuring, and a stainless steel spoon.
Okay.
A stick blender, and then some rubber gloves. And you should cover your eyes too when you're doing this, when you're working with the lye, and when you're also stirring the lye. It's a good idea to cover your mouth a little bit. You could use one of those masks that you do for woodworking and stuff, but
I've got my bank robber bandana ready.
Just get your bank robber bandana ready. And the lye is the very first thing that I do because it takes the longest to cool. And so
So the lye actually starts out hot.
it's very,
Thus
very hot.
the rubber gloves.
And that's why you want long sleeves, rubber gloves, and you want to protect your mouth a little bit from breathing it in.
So it's some
and your
serious
eyes.
stuff then, huh?
For a few minutes it is. In fact, I'd say clear out the children.
Clear out the children.
This is something you want to do when the children aren't around. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and measure out the lye. And I put my rubber gloves on to do that. I have this really inexpensive, this is cost me like $3, little measure, and I have a little bowl. I'm going to make sure that it goes up to 0 here.
Set it to 0 with the bowl on it
Set it
then.
to 0 with the bowl on it. And then I'm going to measure out the lye.
So it's done by weight then, right?
It's always done by weight, not by measurement.
Okay.
So, except for the water, I need 12 ounces of water.
Cold, warm, medium?
cold.
Cold. 12 ounces. I'm on it.
And this is 4.8 ounces of cleaner, drain cleaner, whatever you call it. I just screwed up. You can cut stuff out, right? Okay. I'm going to measure out my drain,
We getting ready to rub a bank?
my lye cleaner. Yes, I usually just do this. And it's actually, the lye isn't so bad until it hits the water. You always add the lye to the water, not the water to the lye,
Oh, okay.
or you'll really have a mess. So there's my 4 ounces.
It doesn't look that harmful.
No, I know it doesn't. Right there. Okay. And I usually do this in the sink. And the reason I do this in the sink, and I won't do it right now, I'll just do it here, is that I don't have to worry about anything splashing so much. I could just keep this over my mouth. Maybe I should just have you do it since you have your thing on.
You want me to do it?
No.
I'm all outfitted.
You want to just give that a quick stir?
Mm-hmm.
Don't get too close to it. Okay, that's great. Thank
It's all
you.
dissolved.
It's all dissolved. And we just let that set aside.
Are we done with bandanas?
We're done with bandanas.
That was the fun part.
Yeah.
The dress up.
Set this out of the way for a little while. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to, can you smell the lye now?
I can.
Yeah. It's good to have an open window sometimes. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and melt the coconut oil.
Because it actually starts out in a solid.
It's coconut oil is a semi-solid. It melts in your hands when you or in your body when it hits the body heat, so it doesn't take too much. But this we need. Maybe I could have you measure.
I'm going to
this
show you
out.
the coconut oil. It's like this, but if you put some, I'm going to show you over here. Put some in your hands and just start working with it. Pretty soon it's an oil again. You can see that.
Actually, I need a bigger bowl for that.
It's a great lotion for your skin too.
It really is. You can use it just by itself. It's really good for you. Okay, so do you want to go ahead and put the coconut oil in there until it reaches
I'm having a spa over
16
here.
or
Okay, 16. I can do that.
16 ounces of coconut oil and 16 ounces of olive oil.
Equal parts. Okay.
Right. 4.8 ounces of lye and 12 ounces of water. And that's it.
That's all, huh?
That's all. And you know, some people really like to just make soap like this because they don't want to have any of the they don't want to have any of the
Perfumes and
perfumes and the
extra
colorants and things like
So
that.
this is like hypoallergenic then, huh? Where
Pretty
am I?
much. I mean, you're always going to have that real small percent that maybe doesn't, their bodies don't like coconut oil or something, but I've certainly never run across it. This is probably one of the easiest and gentle, most cost-effective soaps you'll ever
We are
make.
so close, but I'm going to have to bust into the other one.
Yep. I figured you would. And the reason that I have 2 jars is that I don't like to dig in the jar, so
I don't mind
it's easier
it.
coming out of the top. Actually, that ice cream scoop works really good,
Does it?
especially when you get down toward the bottom.
Okay, don't mind an ice cream scoop. It works.
Got it? Okay. We are so close there. Just a titch more, and what you've got there will probably do it a little bit more. Look at that. Now,
How good am I?
take just a titch
Oh,
out. Now, isn't
not that
funny?
good. I wasn't that good.
There we go. Perfect.
All
Okay.
right.
We're going to go ahead and take a minute and melt this on the stove.
So our coconut oil looks nice and melted. It's a complete liquid, as you can see. It's a very thin liquid oil.
It is. Now we're going to add the olive oil, and it's already melted. It's an oil. So we're going to go ahead and do 16 ounces of that. Would
Am I on
you like
that?
to measure that out?
Yes. I'm so excited to learn how to make it.
You can see that everything I've used is stuff that I have at home, except for I bought a digital thermometer.
All right. Oh, come
Okay,
on.
Just a titch.
My tongue's going to come out in just a minute because that's my nature.
I have a son-in-law that does that too, and he's a dentist. Luckily, he wears a mask. Okay,
Just
that's perfect. That's
touch.
perfect.
There we
Okay.
go.
Gonna go ahead and add that to the coconut oil. And now comes the part that's a little bit tricky, but it's not hard. The oil and the lye have to be within 10 degrees of each other. And they should be somewhere between 110 degrees to 125 degrees.
Okay.
So let's say, for example, your lye was 125 and your oil was 115. That would be okay.
Okay.
Or anywhere in between that. It could be the exact same, but it can be within 10 degrees. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
So-
grab the lye for us.
Thank you. So the first part of this is turning on your digital thermometer, and you'll go back and forth measuring the lye and the oil. And you can actually use a sink full of cold water or a bucket of cold water or something to cool one down a little bit faster if they're really far off. And at first when I start doing this, I probably do it every 5 or 6 minutes. And then as it gets a little closer, I do it a little more often until I'm sure that they're about the same temperature. My oil is now at 114 degrees. And the lye is at 120 degrees. And so we're ready to go ahead and mix the two together.
Okay.
And when we do this, I'm going to show you what trace is, because that's what you want to get this to. It's kind of like when you're making a cake or pudding or something and you are stirring it around, and then all of a sudden you see that there's a little design and it kind of gets left behind. That's what trace is. I need to plug this in there. And with my stick blender, I just do quick little movements
Bursts?
like this. And add this just a
quick
little
little
bit at a
bursts?
time. Would you like to do that?
Sure.
You do a little more than that. Just keep a stream going. Probably stuck on the bottom. It's from this. Almost there.
I can smell it.
Okay, you want to do a few quick bursts and then run it around like this, and then when it leaves a little bit more of a design, then you'll know and show the camera.
Figure 8.
Yeah, you see, we hit trace. You can see it leaves a little bit of a design right there. And just by waving it like that, you can see that there's a little design that's left. A little bit more. There you go. And that's what you call hitting trace. That's important. And then you have your molds already ready. And I really like to use these too. These are just utensil trays that you can buy like at Walmart or whatever.
Then you just slice it up after you're done? Okay, so now that we've hit trace, we preheated our oven to 170, and I'm going to let you explain it from there because there's just a little bit of a process.
I'm going to put it in the oven, and it's going to be in the oven for about an hour. I'm going to check it every 15 minutes. I'm going to set a timer. Okay, so Kathy, after 15 minutes, it's going to look a little bit like instant pudding.
Okay.
And then
I know what that looks like.
And then the 15 minutes after that, it will look like Crisco.
Crisco. Okay.
And then we'll check it again in another 15 minutes, and each time we stir it, it will look like mashed potatoes, kind of.
Huh.
Be more bubbly.
Okay.
And then the last 15 minutes, it just kind of settles down into more of that Crisco look again, and that's when we put it into the molds. So now I'm going to go ahead and pour it into the mold.
Okay, this is the exciting part.
Got it in there. Once you have your mold full, you just let it sit.
I guess something like that would make this.
It
then,
would,
huh?
yes, exactly. And I put saran wrap. It's still very hot,
It
but it
feels
won't
good.
melt the saran wrap. Go ahead and put saran wrap over the top. You kind of pat it a little bit with your hands if you want to. You can also use, like I said, Pringle cans, Ocean Spray cans.
Very cute.
That's
very
actually
cute.
2 different soaps. I had some left from each one out of a mold, and I just poured it into a can and made some cute little round soaps. And a lot of you are going to be wanting to know where to get the
Oh yeah, where do you
lye.
even find lye?
It really is hard to find. One of the reasons it's hard to find is that meth users use it, and so you can't just buy it at the grocery store.
So when you go and buy it, be very clear and say,
I'm a soap maker.
we're making soap.
I don't know how they use it, but if you go to an Ace Hardware store or someplace like that, you'll be able to find it. It's used for unclogging drains. And
Just 100% lye. it says on it.
100% lye.
Drain cleaner.
Yeah, and this will actually make 2 batches. So then when you're...
Well, this is very pretty. I love how you've wrapped it. She's got different papers and the little raffia bow around it.
I let it sit overnight, or at least several hours until it cools, and then I unmold it, and then I just let it sit like this for a while, and then I cut it into bars.
Cut it into bars.
Or
Wrap them in cute paper. Here's a birthday one.
Yeah.
Now, are these from a mold, or are these from your?
That's actually from a mold that I have, and you're technically not supposed to be able to use aluminum, and this is aluminum, but I line it with saran wrap, and it doesn't hurt the pan at all, and the soap pops right out.
Those are perfect bars of soap.
Yep.
And they look very
So-
cute. And here's one in a little bag. They just look really cute. Really cute, nice gift.
It's a fun gift to give, and people really appreciate it because it is so good on your skin.
Well, I always appreciate something more homemade. Yeah, I can even feel, it almost feels like lotion too.
It
and
does.
I really love it.
It's really nice.
Well, thank you, Jeannie, for sharing this with us.
Thank you for letting me
This
come
is
and
a
do
really
this.
cool process, and we hope you guys really enjoyed the soap making.